So I'm just starting right now. All I have on my face is foundation and brows. That's it. So we're just going to jump right into contouring. So first, what I like to do before I contour, I like to apply a foundation, obviously, as a base, and then I like to go on with concealer after. Some people say, no, you should put your concealer on first. You can, depending on how much you want to cover, but for me, I'm doing a brightening effect as opposed to a covering effect. So, I'll tell you real quick what I'm using. I'm using Naked Skin Urban Decay's concealer, and it's my new fave. Love it, love it, love it, love it. For years, I was using the NARS Creamy Concealer, which is still one of my faves, but I want to try something different. So, I really love this one, primarily because, well, the color is great, number one, but the applicator is kind of like a really soft lipstick applicator, like lip gloss applicator. And it just makes the product go on really clean and smooth in one swipe almost. So therefore you use less product and you get your bang for your buck. So what you want to remember if you're trying to create a contouring effect, so remember, light will draw the eye forward and bring that feature out forward. So whatever you highlight is what the eye is going to see first. So most people want higher cheekbones, and obviously we're going to cover any circles or imperfections we have under the eyes. So we're just going to apply it like a triangle shape, because you get underneath the eye and the point of the triangle goes down on top of your cheek just to highlight this part a little bit better. Obviously we're gonna blend this in, don't worry. One triangle, two triangles. Okay, 1, 2. And you want to draw another mini triangle right here. Kinda. I look like Pocahontas. And a little bit down here. So the reason why I did the forehead and the chin is just to balance that look. I don't like that look of all under eye highlight and nothing else. It kind of balances the look if you have a bit on your forehead and a bit on your chin, just so you don't look too raccoony. But you won't look like that anyway if you use the right concealer color, but for now, this is the look I'm going for. So we're going to blend that in with my Beauty Blender, and it's a damp Beauty Blender. Some people use these dry, which I guess you can use, but it defeats the purpose of why it's a sponge. It absorbs the water that you put on top of it, and it just makes the texture of it softer, and it doesn't feel wet on your face. So don't think that you gotta wring it out, put it under the water for 10 seconds, and yeah, it just makes everything amazing. So I put a bit on top of my eye, as you can see right here, just to serve as a base for my eyeshadow. That's a cool tip for you guys. You don't have to put concealer over the entire eyelid. You can if you want, but I'm just going for a quick, you know, easier look today. We're not going for an all-out, night-out look. That's another video. And blending this, I'm using quick dabbing motions. And this is what you call beating. I'm not joking. This technique is actually called beating the face. You gotta beat your face, girl. Okay. So you can see now that the light is focused here, here, and here, but it's blended in. Now, so the next step in your routine is you can set your face with a powder if you want, depending on your skin type. I'm oily, so usually I do set just underneath here in this T-zone because I look like I went for a jog by the end of the day, honestly. So to avoid shine and to set the makeup, I like to put it in the T-zone area. So you can put a powder all over your face first. Just make sure the powder you use does not cover the lightness of the concealer, because then you just defeat the purpose of what you're doing. So real quick, this is the NYX Contour, upside down, the NYX Contour palette. I heard a lot of stuff about this, never got a chance to go out and get it. But I said, you know what? I gotta do it. It was only $29. It was $29. It has 8 shades in it, which is the most I've ever seen come in a contour kit. I think most of them usually have 6. But either way, I'll explain to you real quick what the light and the dark mean. So you can see there's light tones, light, and there's different colors of light. So you got really white and shiny. You have a pale, like eggshell color, you have a yellowy kind of color, and a pinky kind of color. So you can use all 4 of these on your face depending on how much time you want to put into it, but there's a reason why each one is a different color. So real quick, this is a highlighter. Yeah, this is a highlighting shade. So this is what you're going to use after everything is said and done to really bring forward that light area more. Maybe for more of a nighttime look, but that's something else we're going to get into later because it's a little bit shiny and sparkly, but this is a good option to have. All the rest of the shades are matte. So you do want matte for contouring because you don't want any sparkles where they're supposed to be shadow. You know, depending on the look you're going for, but mostly you want to work with matte shades just to make it look more natural, and you want to look like the face is 3-dimensional. And it loses that look as soon as you put any sparkles on the face where it's not supposed to be. So, but this shade is to use to put over the light area that you just put on with your concealer, because you want to A, set it, and B, bring it forward a little bit more. Also, by applying powder all over the face, using a powder-based contour kit, it makes blending super, super easy. So, you can apply this shade underneath here, just in the same shape as we did the triangles, depending on your skin tone. This is a little bit light for me. I don't want to look too contoured, so I'm going to choose this yellowy shade. The great thing about yellowy shades is that it's also a brightening color, and it will neutralize any purple. So yellow is the opposite of purple, so that will neutralize any kind of, you know, dark circles, or it will really set this under eye more because the yellow base color, it will be more bright again. So this is what I'm going to use. So, and this shade has more of a pinky undertone. Again, depending on your skin tone, I have a olivey undertone, so I'll use a warmer shade, but someone who's very fair will probably get away with using this shade for the same thing I'm going to use for. So with a small brush, you do want to keep your dark brush and your light brush. I just lost it under the bed. So you do want to keep your dark brush and your light brush separate. You don't want to use the same brush for your whole contour kit, or else your colors aren't going to mix nice and you're just going to look like a hot mess. So you're going to apply it just in dabbing motions across the same place that you put your concealer. So all this is doing, it's, you know, it will prevent your concealer from creasing, which is great. And in my old age, I'm getting wrinkles around my eyes, so I just can't have any creasing around that area, girl. And we're going to apply it up here and again right here. So what we just did then, we just set that area to make it last longer throughout the day, and like I said, to bring that area forward just that much more. So now that we did that, jump in real quick on why these shades are different colors. These are the darker shades. So dark will recede. So a place that you want to recede, maybe your jaw. It could be in between here in the hollows of your cheek, or you can recede the forehead by making it look smaller by putting dark around those areas. So real quick, what you can remember to, as a quick guide to where the dark should go, just remember the number 3. I don't know if you guys watch Makeup by Mario. He's Kim Kardashian's makeup artist. I'm obsessed with him. He's so cool. I love him. I love his work. But he said one time in one of his videos that if you remember the number 3, you'll never forget how to contour. So basically it just covers all the areas in one sweep, and you can't forget the number 3. So obviously it'd be the opposite on this side. So you want it around the temple, inside the cheekbone, on the jaw. And don't forget to blend your neck. Oh my god. I'm so paranoid about that. Okay. So, this shade here, I don't know if you can tell on camera, but it's a little bit warmer than these. These are ashy. So ashy shades are good for contouring because they'll mimic the look of a shadow as opposed to a bronzer. Now, for years, I've been just using bronzer in the same place as I would contour, and it doesn't make that much of a difference because that will warm up my skin tone rather than contour it. So it'll just make me look like I have a tan. But contouring will make it look like your cheekbones and your features are that much more enhanced. Just enhance what you naturally got, girl. You're beautiful. So, we're going to use that shade later because I always do bronze. Depending on your skin tone, I'm dark. I like looking dark as much as I can all year round. I just love it. I don't care. So I'll use this for warming up my skin tone later. But first, we're going to contour using this dark shade. And it's ashy, so it will definitely look more like a shadow, but in this case, less is more. Less is more. You want to use a small brush because it's a small area. You don't want to go in with a big brush. It's going to be too messy. So you are going to trace out your cheekbone. So you're going to dab, dab, dab just a little bit and kind of use a back and forth. See how much I didn't need? I literally tapped that in. Tap that, girl. Alright, so you're going to apply this color just under your, see? When you do this, that line should look like it was a part of. So you're going to apply it here. If you feel that it's too, you want to blend it, take a bigger brush and just kind of go over it real quick. Okay? So we applied the contour shade to this side of the cheek. We're going to repeat on the other side. This is one reason why I love this palette so much, is because the formula is just so blendable and you don't need a lot of it. I love it. Okay, so under the cheek, blend it a little bit with a brush. Again, less is more. I am still getting used to the texture of the powders of this palette, so I might have used a little bit too much, but this is why I had the blending brush. Alright, so you are going to then apply your forehead color. So this is going to recede the forehead, make the face look a little bit more three-dimensional against the light, because dark against light will, where they're the opposite, it draws the other one and the opposite forward kind of thing, right? So we're going to go around the hairline using the next darkest shade. So one a little bit lighter, and we're just going to go around the forehead a little bit, connecting it with this line, because you want to stay as tight to your hairline as possible, because you cannot have, and even though we can't help it sometimes, but white scalp and dark face. There's not much you can do about it. You can go in and paint your scalp if you want, but I ain't getting into that. So we are connecting around the forehead all the way down to this 3. So far, that's actually blended. I don't know why it doesn't look bad. So we have the top. So we have the top half of the 3 done. Okay? The reason why I used the lighter shade is because we didn't need something so ashy. We don't need a shadow around the hairline. Okay? We only need a shadow where, you know, one would naturally appear. So I used the next lighter one, and then I'm going to go in with that same light shade and just drag it down on the neck. And don't forget your ears. Don't forget your ears. That's a dead giveaway that you ain't naturally dark, girl. Okay. So, real quick, big brush, big area, small brush, small area, ashy under here for the shadow, and the next lightest one around the forehead. So this step is not necessary, but I like to go in and bronze just because I am Liz Carroll and I'm bronzed all year round. So bronze is the warm shade. You can take the same brush if you want, kind of dip it in and shake it off and just go over that contour, because that will take away anything that looks too ashy against my skin tone and kind of warm it up a little bit and blend it in with my foundation. That's the only reason why I use that. If you're very fair, you might not need to use a bronzer, but it depends on what you want to do. Okay, so now that we have the face done, you guys understand why I put the dark in a certain area and the light. So now we're going to move on to the eyes. Okay, so for eyeshadow, you want to remember that that is technically a mini way of contouring as well. Again, you want to recede, you know, around the eye socket to make the eyes look a little bit more. You can change the shape of your eyes by using a darker socket color. If you put light on the lid, it will draw that forward, etc., etc., etc. Make that area look larger. So what I'm going to do, the shades that I didn't get to use on my face, I'm going to use on my eyes. So this is why you can do your whole face with the contour kit. It's amazing. And again, with the matte shades, really easy to blend in, not too sparkly for daytime or work or school or whatever. So something real quick. So I'm going to go over my entire eyelid using this light shade. This is the shade that I didn't use on my face that was more suitable for more fair skin types, but it can be used as an amazing eyeshadow base. By using this color, it will make the rest of the eyeshadow super easy to blend in. That's another good tip. You want to set your eyes with powder too, make your life a lot easier. And if you're prone to being a little bit messy or making some mistakes, super, super easy to blend that shit out, girl. Okay. So now I'm going to go in and contour the socket of my eye using this really, really light shade. And this, all this does, it doesn't even make it look like I have anything on. It just looks like a shadow more so. And that's kind of what I'm going for. Just a natural, quick look that makes you look put together without having to have too much on. Okay, so you see what that did? Right, and maybe pop a little bit under the eye, just on this side, just to kind of make the eye a little bit look more hazy. So this is an extra step, but this is something that I always do, and I like to warm up my skin with a bit of blush. So that is not part of the contouring kit, but it can be a part of your contouring regime. So my favorite everyday blush is from this Lorac Pro palette, and I don't even know if you can get this anymore. I don't think you can. I got it a few years ago, but it has some eyeshadows in it, natural colors, and on the other side it has, you can see how well used it is, blushes and a bronzer. So I like to use this coral shade just because I feel like that suits my skin tone the best, and you can't go wrong with coral because any skin tone can wear it. If you're really fair, or if you're olive, or if you have really dark skin, it looks good on everybody. So you can't go wrong with a coral blush, and it doesn't look too pinky. It has more of a golden undertone to it, so that's why I like to use it. So last step for the eyes, using my, I already talked about this in my last video, my favorite mascara, Clinique Chubby Lash. Love it. So I'm going to put 2 coats on. Okay. So just apply my mascara. I felt like that was enough for my eye, just for the look that we're going for today. Super quick. Again, I used 2 shadows, 1 brush, quick coat of mascara. That's it. And now I'm going to put on some lips. This is my favorite. I have like 3 or 4 favorites of Makeup Forever. This is in 1C. Really natural skin tone color. Love it. It just makes your natural lips pop a little bit more without making it look like you have too much on. And I'm putting on the NYX Soft Matte Lip Cream in Stockholm. Okay, so I applied this all over my lip, and I applied a little bit of this just on the bottom. Rub that shit together. And there we go. All done. So I hope you enjoyed my video and you learned a few things. If you have any questions, just send me a few and I'll reply to you guys if you have any questions on how to contour or anything that I talked about or any products that you want to use or try. Send me a line and I'll get back to you. And thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.